Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time it is yet another vlog. And this time around it's going to be mostly just me showing some stuff that I picked up from various different places and showing some titles that I got as gifts from Jonathan and reading a letter he sent me, which that'll be at the end of this video. So I'm just going to get started because my thoughts on movie news and stuff like that, and upcoming DVD and Blu ray releases. Those are all in the next episode of Talking Cinema, which is going to be a podcast format again with my good friend Matt. It's already been recorded. The audio sounds as good as it's going to be for right now. And so, yeah, so my thoughts on movie news and all that other sort of stuff is going to be included in that. So, I'm not going to talk about any of that in this video. I will say this. Uh, I have some intriguing sort of things planned for this channel coming up. First off, I'm going to complete the mini marathon of wilderness survival movies. By the time this has been posted, you will more than likely have seen a review of Blood Games, a 1990 film. And after that, I'm going to watch and review Rituals. And that'll be it for that little mini marathon. But then I want to start another one. I'm going to do a marathon of 90s suspense thrillers. It's going to start with Pacific Heights, and then I'm going to talk about Single White Female, and then I'm going to talk about the sequel. It's just going to be a little tiny mini marathon, like really puts the M in mini. I've already seen the films, I just need to sit down and record the reviews for them. And after that, I want to do something that is definitely intriguing. I'm going to be reviewing a series of films with the name Trapped. There's a 1973 film, TV movie with James Brolin that I'm going to be reviewing. There's a 1982 film called Trapped, which has got a survival wilderness hillbilly horror type plot line. A 1989 TV movie called Trapped, which deals with a woman played by Kathleen Quinlan who's trapped in a high rise, and then a 2002 thriller called Trapped that has Charlize Theron and Kevin Bacon. And then after that, a direct-to-video movie called Trapped, which probably nobody's ever heard of, and I've flipped through it, and it seems like for good reason. The reason why I want to do that is because I've always wanted to do a series of reviews of films with the same name, just to have some fun and just try to figure out for myself which one is the best, with which one's the best film by that name and which one's the worst, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon, as well as when Us comes out. I'm going to see that, and I will do a review of that as soon as I possibly can. Do not care about Captain Marvel, so I'm not going to bother doing a review of that. And after I'm done doing the Trapped marathon, I am going to do the requests again. I have a long list of requests that I've collected from last year, and I'm going to try to get at least the titles that are starting with the letter B done. And after that, I actually have some other plans in mind. Might as well just let you in on it now. I want to do a mini marathon of Eddie Murphy movies and review the Beverly Hills Cop films, The Golden Child, Metro, and so that's the plan with that. The 48 hours movies, that's also going to be included in that. Sometime this year, I want to do a John Carpenter filmography. And speaking of filmographies and more marathons, I'm going to be doing a whole month of Arnold Schwarzenegger reviews in April. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesomely Arnold, and I can't wait, and I really hope you all enjoy it. And in May, the month of my birthday, I'm just going all Tales from the Crypt. It's going to be a month of nothing but Tales from the Crypt reviews. I'm going to be reviewing the entire TV series, my favorite show of all time. I'm going to be reviewing the 3 movies, and I'm also going to be giving my thoughts on the show in terms of why I personally feel it should have lasted for more than one season. Maybe check out a few episodes of the cartoon, maybe give my thoughts on that. Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Do kind of an odds and ends sort of video based on Tales from the Crypt that I kind of did with RoboCop. Well, not kind of, that I did with RoboCop. And also, if I have the time, review Perversions of Science, the anthology show that ended up replacing Tales from the Crypt and really wasn't that great. So, yeah, those are my plans for right now. It's a lot, but that's really what I want to do. And then I also throw in some random reviews here and there of movies that I've seen that I'm curious about. So, yeah, so that's what I have planned. Things might change. If they do, I'll let you know. But for right now, that's how things are right now for my schedule. And I'm just gonna get to showing some movies. Got Deep Cover with Lawrence Fishburne and Jeff Goldblum. Embrace of the Vampire with Alyssa Milano. Tarzan and the Lost City with Casper Van Dien. Yes, the Tarzan movie with Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers, which most people don't even know exists, and for good reason. It's not that good. The Dogs of War with Christopher Walken and Tom Berenger. Le Mans with Steve McQueen. This is actually real life racing footage because Steve McQueen actually raced for real. So that's going to be interesting. Hard Luck, a film featuring Wesley Snipes, Sybil Shepherd, and Mario Van Peebles, I've never heard of, for the Wesley Snipes collection. Six Pack with Kenny Rogers, which looks like a fun family flick. This is acting debut. Sorry about my chair squeaking there. That's just how it is. It's old. Hellboy, Blood and Iron, and Sword of Storms, the double feature Blu-ray set. I just got this today because I didn't mention this, but when the new Hellboy comes out, I'm definitely doing a Hellboy marathon. I'll be reviewing the first two Hellboy films and then these two animated films. I did not know that these animated movies, they featured the voice of Ron Perlman, Selma Blair, Doug Jones, and John Hurt. So they're kind of sequels or prequels to the Hellboy films, which I really like. So this is going to be fun. What's interesting about this is that this is a Blu-ray, but it's in a DVD case. Like, how often did you ever see that? Like, it's clearly in a DVD case. So it's weird that Anchor Bay and Stars did it like this, but yeah. And as for the new Hellboy, I talk more about it in the next Talking Cinema. CB4, the movie. I honestly feel this is incredibly underrated. This is hilarious. Sweat from my balls. This is my favorite Chris Rock movie. Really enjoy this one. Really glad to finally get this for my collection. K2, The Ultimate High. I've been curious about this film for the longest time. Finally got a copy of it that's not like from Thailand or whatever in a bootleg. This stars Michael Biehn, and it's like a mountain climbing movie. So, and I've always liked the cover too. There's something about it. Weird title, but yeah. I think I might do a marathon one day of like mountain climbing movies, like Vertical Limit, K2, Alive, Everest. That'd be a fun marathon to do one of these days. Chasing Sleep with Jeff Daniels, which, to be honest, it's something I'm doing pretty much every day is Chasing Sleep. Jeff Daniels film that actually looks really good. Diamondbacks. It was like $1, and I'm a sucker for like direct-to-video action movies. Like, they could be shit, but they could also be gems. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, Miles O'Keefe and that cast doesn't instill a lot of confidence. But it wasn't too much money, so I'll give it a shot. Bushwhacked Bushwhacked, I think I reviewed this, and I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was that bad. It's an alright time waster. The Walk, filmed by Robert Zemeckis, based on a true story. The Red Shoes, Dead Girl, Jack Ketchum's The Lost, House with Michael Madsen and Bill Moseley, pretty much The Forgotten House, Lake Placid, Speed 2 Cruise Control. For the collection, I did not want to buy this in a double feature with Speed on Blu-ray. I just wanted it by itself. Some 2004, I believe it's 2004, so 2003, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon DVDs. This is part 2 of Fast Forward. This is, volume... Yeah, this is volume 2 of Fast Forward, which I think was a later season. And these are actually, this is actually the whole first season. Season 1, part 1 of 2, and season 1, part 2 of 2. Now, it's apparently like really hard to find this show. And to this day, certain seasons are still not even available in this particular format because 4Kids lost the Turtles rights because Nickelodeon bought them, and then Nickelodeon was like, nah, we don't want to make any more of these DVDs. So the ones that ended up getting released before Nickelodeon took over were released in limited quantities, and they're ridiculously expensive. So I really do feel my friend Matt's pain here because I hear all these good things about this show, and as a collector, I'd like to get the whole series, but nope. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I was able to get my hands on the DVDs that I have for cheap. I mean, it's not easy to get a hold of these. Even the individual ones that they initially released are hard to find now. So yeah, it's one of those shows where you can get it digitally, but like any other format, well, you're shit out of luck if you want it on a physical copy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that creaking of that chair. It's probably just killing your ears. I really don't, I can't do much about it right now. I don't have any WD-40 on hand. Hoffa with Jack Nicholson. This is actually directed by Danny DeVito. Less Than Zero. Classic 80s film. The Hollow. Night Moves. This case has a DVD-R in it that I burned, and here's why. Okay, I found a Blu-ray rip of the film, and I burned it onto here, because this is one of those DVDs that looks like absolute garbage nowadays. It's unwatchable. It's non-anamorphic widescreen. It's scrunched. It's pixelated. It's fucking shit. So, it's too bad, because the film actually looks pretty good. Bat 21... really underrated movie. It's really too bad that nobody talks about this. This is a great film with Danny Glover and Gene Hackman. Armed and Dangerous with John Candy. He recently had it was recently the 25th anniversary of his death, which honestly is, there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss that man. Mobsters, which look like fun. This looks like the 90s mobster gangster movie equivalent of Young Guns. That's really what it looks like, and I think that's intentional for sure. The Item, I got suckered into this because the idea behind it looked interesting to me, and the cover. But then I watched the trailer and I flipped through this. This looks like a shot on Shitty-O pile of fucking garbage. This looks like an absolute shit pile. So yeah, maybe that'll be a good rant. The Last Shot with Matthew Broderick and Alec Baldwin. This actually looks really interesting to me. The plot and everything really intrigues me. King Solomon's Mines with Patrick Swayze and Alison Doody. And here's a whole series of Blood Fist movies. Yeah. Blood Fist, Don the Dragon Wilson, Blood Fist 2, Blood Fist 5, Human Target, Blood Fist 7, Manhunt, and Blood Fist 8, Hard Way Out. Yeah, there's 8 Blood Fist movies. That's a franchise you never thought existed. Most people don't know exists. I mean, it's surprising that it has this many movies. But I got all of these for cheap, and now I'm going to try to hunt down the rest of them. Because these aren't getting Blu-ray releases. That's never going to happen. So, there's not that many Don the Dragon Wilson fans out there who are that desperate or die hard about it. Hobo with the Shotgun. This is the 2-disc special edition. I have the film already in DVD, but it doesn't have a slip cover, and it doesn't have the second disc. So, and this was like really cheap, brand new. So, decided to pick that up. Macho Man Randy Savage DVDs. Ooh, yeah. Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. And Macho Madness, the Randy Savage Ultimate Collection. Really love me some Macho Man. So, really glad I could get those for a good price. I've been trying to get those for a while. Rocko's Modern Life, the complete series. I've been revisiting this show recently, and it is a blast. Easily my favorite Nicktoon. I grew up watching this show, and it holds up great to this day. I finished watching the first season. Heifer says it best. Says it best. That was a hoot. It really is. It's a total hoot of a show. I love it. Cat Dog, the complete series, because this is out of print, and I managed to get this for a good price. This is... I doubt that Nickelodeon will actually officially release this under their brand, because the show didn't do that great. And according to a lot of Nicktoon fans, it's one of the worst shows in the pantheon of Nicktoons. But I grew up watching Cat Dog, and I watched the pilot again, and it wasn't the best thing in the world, but I'm willing to give the show more of a shot than just one episode. So, but I definitely, yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend Rocko's Modern Life. It's such a great show. It has so many adult jokes in it too. American Gothic, the complete series. I got this because I'm really curious about this. It looked interesting to me. It's got a good cast. You have Paige Turco, April O'Neil from Turtles 2 and 3 in this, in a big major role. So, yeah. And Sam Raimi worked on the show as well. American Gothic. Jackass, the box set. It was a good deal. Yes, I know this is edited, but I didn't really watch the show uncut most of the time anyway. I mean, I remember only seeing like a few episodes when I was a kid, and I did like them, but I've always wanted to just check it out in some way or another, and this is this is essentially the show. It just there are certain skits and stuff that are cut out, but it's still a good set to have regardless. And I'm going to get into the Blu-rays next, and then I'm going to do the stuff that Jonathan sent me. Kind of just want to save that for last type deal. Night of the Demons 2 on DVD. I know there's a Blu-ray, but I'm okay with the DVD, and I popped it in my 4K player and checked it out on my 4K TV. It converts great. It looks great for a DVD. The Hunger with David Bowie and Susan Sarandon. These are all DVDs I've shown before, except for one of them. But I decided to grab them all at once to show you that the collection is finally complete. This is the X-Men animated series DVD collection. So this is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. For this is I was really psyched when I was able to get this for a good price. For some reason this is really expensive and out of print. And then volume 5. So this is the entire series of X-Men. Love this show. Easily one of the best 90s animated series out there. It's right up there with Batman the Animated Series in my mind. Now we just have a total ton of Blu-rays. Firestarter, the Scream Factory release, collector's edition. The Fly 2 special edition. This is from Madman Entertainment. This is a Australian release, but it's region free and has all the features from the US DVD. So if you want The Fly 2 on Blu-ray, get this, because that's the only way you can get it on Blu-ray for some reason right now, because Fox didn't bother to release a sequel on Blu-ray. Only released the first one. The Pit, Shattered with Tom Berenger, Greta Scacchi, and Bob Hoskins. The trailer for this is one of the best trailers in the 90s, if you ask me. It is really well put together. Great editing. They don't make trailers like they do for films like this anymore. The Park is Mine with Tommy Lee Jones. Cherry 2000 with Melanie Griffith. Meteor with Sean Connery, the disaster movie with Sean Connery. Charles Bronson quadruple feature set with the Valachi Papers, the Stone Killer, Breakout, and Hard Times. Fairly recent set from Mill Creek. Yeah, it came out last year. Navy SEALs. I like this movie a lot, actually, so I'm really glad to get this on Blu-ray finally. Really enjoyed this flick. It's right up there with Top Gun for me. Digging Up the Marrow. Heard some good things about this. Was able to get this for pretty cheap. Really like this cover art, too. Goldberg, the Ultimate Collection. The sticker's still on here because it's a pain in the ass to take off, and I don't really want to bother with it. I had the DVD set, but I wanted the Blu-ray set because it has 5 exclusive matches on it. And I really like Goldberg. So, definitely wanted to get that. Excuse me. Get Smart. It's a holographic cover or whatever. Actually never seen this one. Never seen this film. Was not that familiar with the movie, with the TV show, so got it for cheap. The Deep. I wasn't a big fan of this, but I want to give it another shot. Also, I think this would look absolutely gorgeous on Blu-ray, especially the underwater scenes. Quicksilver with Kevin Bacon. This is honestly Premium Rush. Premium Rush, I saw a while back. I didn't mind it, but it essentially copies this movie. Like, it is amazing how similar the two films are in terms of the plot. Red Dawn, kind of a shitty cover art, but it's better than the other cover art that's out there. Absolute classic, 80s classic. The Hudsucker Proxy, great cast, really quirky, fun movie by Joel Cohen. The Hudsucker Proxy on Blu-ray, Warner Archive Blu-ray. Clear and Present Danger, the last Jack Ryan film I really wanted to have on Blu-ray. So I was really glad to finally get that to complete my Jack Ryan Blu-ray collection. Double feature of Last Man Standing and The Last Boy Scout. I love The Last Boy Scout. Last Man Standing's not too bad either. For a double feature set, the Blu-ray isn't that bad in terms of quality. But man, I wish The Last Boy Scout had like a special edition, because that movie, despite all the shit it gets, is honestly a classic if you ask me. Night of the Demons, the collector's edition from Scream Factory. Now, I got this. It doesn't have the slipcover. Don't care. I wanted the disc, and the seller I got it from, it only had the Blu-ray. I'm fine with that. I didn't. I don't need. I do not need the DVD. And one more Blu-ray. It's a 4K Blu-ray actually. Cliffhanger. One of my all-time favorite Stallone films. I heard this transfer is honestly really good, so picked this up at CD Game Exchange for a good price. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out again one of these days in 4K. So that is the DVDs and Blu-rays that I picked up myself recently. Now we have the stuff, the DVDs and Blu-rays. Well, these are all Blu-rays that Jonathan sent me. Candyman, the collector's edition from Shout Factory, from Scream Factory. Awesome. Really great film. One of the best horror films in the 90s. Loaded with features, too. Really looking forward to digging deep into this release someday. 10 to Midnight. This is really cool, too. I honestly really... Last time I saw this, I legitimately really enjoyed this one. Charles Bronson's 10 to Midnight. So it's nice to see it get a Blu-ray release. The features are kind of but that's to be expected. But it's cool that it even got a release, to be honest. So yeah, 10 to Midnight. Collector's Edition. Robot Carnival, a film I've been curious about ever since I heard of it. It's a animation anthology. It seems like it's from like back in the day, but yeah, like it's 80s, from the 80s, I believe. So it's kind of like heavy metal, but with Japanese animation. So it's like an anime version of heavy metal, which I'm really curious about, and I really love heavy metal. So yeah, I'm very curious about this movie, Robot Carnival. 9 animators, one vision. One vision. Speaking of animation, Disney's Robin Hood. Haven't seen this in decades. Like, I haven't seen this since I was a kid. This should be fun to check out again sometime. And then Hellboy. Hellboy, the director's cut. I don't know why the theatrical cut is not available on Blu-ray for some reason. I guess Del Toro didn't like it, so he made it so only the director's cut is available on Blu-ray. So I think it's kind of lame, to be honest. But that's just me personally. But it's still Hellboy on Blu-ray. And then Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Now, what's funny about this is that when I went to a shop today, I actually bought this, but I didn't know that Jonathan was sending it to me, so I'll just have to return it, and it's cool. It's no big deal. But yeah, Hellboy and Hellboy 2 for the Hellboy collection. I had them on DVD, but I wanted to upgrade them to Blu-ray because I'm a big fan of them. And this one in particular is going to look gorgeous. This has some great visuals. I saw this in the theater when it came out on opening weekend. I saw this when there was a line going almost outside the theater for The Dark Knight, because I cared more about Hellboy 2 than I did about The Dark Knight. Hellboy 2 didn't do that great. Not because it was a bad film, because Universal was stupid and released it alongside The Dark Knight. That's the only reason why it didn't do that well. So those are the gifts that Jonathan sent me. Once again, thank you, Jonathan, for sending me such awesome, wonderful gifts. We got this letter here. Dear Mike, I hope you enjoy the gifts. I actually like the trailer to the Child's Play remake as it looks better than Mancini's disasters of the last 21 years, as you and I felt 3 was the last good Child's Play movie. Do you think Seed, Curse, and Cult is more like Shit of Chucky, cursed by this movie, by Chucky, and Cunt of Chucky, just as much as you call The Mummy? 2017, The Cummy, Mummy 3 is a dummy, Star Wars The Last Jedi is the last straw? Sure. I'm not going to argue with that. I like how it's using practical effects and good use of lighting and all. it's a fresh take on a worn out dead franchise. Despite at first I just wanted this franchise to die already, but this new movie looks like it will give us hope. Yeah, I hope so. That's all you can do. In May, I'm going to send you more gifts like Starman. Oh man, awesome. Toy Story Trilogy and more surprises for your birthday. This month, besides La Femme Nikita for your French class and movie news and also requests, you're going to do Critters movies in time for the new TV show on Shudder. Yeah, it's another thing I didn't mention. I'm going to try to do that. Like when the Shudder series actually does officially come out, I do want to do reviews of the Critters films. So yeah, that's the plan. Check out the extras and even the deleted scenes and the Critters 2 script. Maybe check out some anime like Robot Carnival. I hope you enjoy Robot Carnival. If you like heavy metal and other anthologies, this one's for you. As it is amazing anime for 32 years. I love it for 27 years since I was 10. I rented it after hearing great reviews in magazines. It blew me away. It has 2 different versions to watch on setup, like 1991 streamlined theatrical cut in English, and the uncut full-length Japanese cut, which you can watch in Japanese and subtitles. For the 2 stories where the characters actually speak, Koshiro Otomo did the opening and end wraparound story, and Next Extras 2, it's a must-see if you want something different outside of Hollywood. Yeah, I definitely would like to see something different, that's for sure. The new Pet Sematary looks less impressive than Child's Play. I'm a fan of the novel, enjoy the previous films, but I don't recall any masked kids in the novel. And no, the resurrected people aren't really zombies. The zombies are just mindless creatures. His resurrected creatures are demon-possessed corpses, similar to the Deadites in aspects that they're actually possessed by the Wendigo. A Native American Canadian spirit demon that turns living humans into cannibals if one touches you, according to legends. And recall in the novel it said that Wendigo soured the Micmac ground eons ago, and the Stephen King wiki said it was the cause of why the ground became so soured because it touched some Micmac Indians, and the bad Indians were killing some members to eat them, and the good ones killed and touched the ones that buried them in the ground. However, the blood of the Wendigo touched poison the ground area as the creature cursed the ground. For whatever dead body buried there becomes a bad shell of their former self. Thus, the Indians left to resettle as the Wendigo haunts the forest. The Wendigo did use its necromantic powers to resurrect any dead animal buried there, but prefers to possess human corpses to turn them into demons who come back to return to torment the living, as in the novel. Timmy Batterman came back as a foul-mouthed demon with yellow eyes and haunted people as the Wendigo inside his body knew of the people's secrets. Same for when it possessed Gage and Gus, as this spirit demon uses human corpses as puppets. They are actually demons, as morphine injections cannot kill zombies but only kill demons, and fire can destroy the demon out of the bodies. Huh. Interesting. It's nice to hear clarification that the kids wearing masks is not actually in the book, because that's just lame. Originally, Romero was going to do Pet Sematary, could read King's original 1986 screenplay online, which is quite different than a 1988 rewrite script. And Gage's death is more dramatic in the original script with montages, especially the dad holding Gage's bloody jumpsuit, and even mentions the Wendigo briefly, and features the Wendigo while Lewis is on his way to bury his son, as it lets him pass for it knows what he's going to do. Oh, that sounds like it might have been interesting, an interesting shot at least. And the original screenplay was to make you wonder, was it the Wendigo possessing the corpses of the spirits, or the dead Indians, or other demons that lived in the ground, or the necromantic force of the Wendigo that turns dead things into demons? Originally, Tom Savini was going to do the makeup effects, feature effects, and Bruce Campbell was going to be Lewis. Huh. Interesting. Same goes for House by the Cemetery's Freudenstein, as he's not a zombie but rather a decaying immortal supernatural mutant creature made from science as he used experiments on himself to keep himself alive with organ transplants and blood transfusions and supernatural abilities. Even Creepshow's Wentworth and his lover, not zombies like Nathan, extra revenants like the Crow, as eventual spirits who return to avenge their deaths. Same for Bobby in Fitting Punishment, as he's a revenant. Okay. That makes sense. Hope you enjoy Candyman. It's an amazing new 4K restoration in both cuts, as you think it was made in 2017. And awesome extras, too. I think maybe you might have said... I think Jonathan might have meant 2019, not 2017, but I could be wrong. 10 to Midnight looks better than ever. And nice extras, too. I can't wait for your Arnold April reviews, plus Hellboy reviews, and a May Your Crypt movie, TV show reviews, along with Eddie Murphy films and Bill and Ted. Yeah, I do want to do Bill and Ted sometime this year, too. C&D, requested Camp Blood, Clown, Clue, Cocktail, Dire Dracula, Dune, and others. Yeah, well, those will happen after I do the bees and stuff like that. How many stars do you give Rough Night? I guess a half star. Killing Gunther, another half star. And Justice League, 1.5. Nah, 1. From Beyond the Grave, 2.5. The House That Dripped Blood, I thought it was okay. Time Waster, 3 stars. Happy Death Day, 3.5. Snatched, one, not one. Well, yeah, one. No, half star. It's a really shitty comedy. Mangler, I love that movie. That's a 4 out of 5 star flick. Tragedy Girls, another one I really liked. 4. Invaders from Mars, 2.5. Nah, 2. Really, 2 is a better one. Monkey Shines, also really like that one too. 4 stars, 4 out of 5. Did you hear about Blumhouse wanting to revive both Scream and Hellraiser? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't really want to see any more of those movies. This is what happens when Blumhouse, gets the rights to all these other stuff and just fucking wants to drive already dead franchises even further into the ground. Do you think those franchises should also rest in peace, including Ghostface and Pinhead and Jigsaw? Yeah, I do. Especially Hellraiser, especially Pinhead. There's been more than enough Hellraiser movies. 3 was enough as it is. We didn't need like 8. I don't need 10 more. Saw needs to rest in peace and come up with new horror icons. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we're no fan of Conjuring spin-offs and Happy Death Day, but they're giving an effort and making new horror franchises, new horror icons with the same with Hell Night. I haven't seen Hell Night yet. I liked Happy Death Day. I didn't think it was terrible. The sequel just doesn't really interest me. When Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse comes out on Blu-ray to rent, you have to go see it. The best animated film of 2018, the best Spider-Man film since 2. Okay, I'll give it a watch. I actually have a version to watch one of these days. The animation style just seems like a real turnoff to me. Like, it's just too colorful, and the shading is just making me queasy. I don't know. I think that's one of the things that's going to hurt the film for me, is that animation style is just so jarring that I think it's going to hurt my overall enjoyment of the movie. But I'll give it a fair shot regardless. You think the Lochnar is quite a Lovecraftian creature in aspects? I mean, Lochnar. I forgot what I mean by the Lochnar. I mean heavy metal and this Lovecraftian just as much as Ghostbusters, Hellboy movies, A Thing, Keep are Lovecraft-esque in aspects. Lochnar. I'm trying to remember what the Lochnar was in heavy metal. It's been a while since I've seen heavy metal. Was that the thing? Was that the stuff with the skeletons and stuff? I can't. That's not really coming to mind. The Lochnar. Oh, was it the thing in the one where the nerdy guy goes into the castle or something, and then there's that. Yeah, that's not really coming to my mind. Sorry, Jonathan. I can't really answer that question on the top of my head because I don't remember what the Lochnar was. Aladdin looks like ass. I'm not going to see it. It looks like a half-assed attempt at capturing lightning in a bottle. Hope you enjoyed Robin Hood. It's a classic I always liked since I was a kid. Did you hear about a Howard the Duck animated series for Hulu? Yeah, I did. I'm going to talk more about that in the next episode of Talking Cinema. Leah Thompson has actually been approached to do a guest voice. I would like it to be Beverly, but more than likely it's not going to be the case. But anyway, yeah. Once again, huge thanks goes to Jonathan for sending me the gifts, as well as that letter. And thank you for watching. And as always,